everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today. We're on the subject of children. Okay, so whether you have your own children, you're expecting or looking at wanting to expect children in the future, all things related to children. If you don't have children and you're not planning on it, it may just sort of pop up with, important children in your life, nieces, nephews, family members, those sorts of things, friends, children, your connection to random children around you in your neighborhood, all sorts of things are going to sort of pop up here for you. Obviously we are sort of mostly expecting your own children to be the main messages here, but I'm also picking up even before I'm starting, I am sort of taking into the collective energy the fact that some of you may actually be wanting to start trying for children. So we're going to take that energy in as well, see what's going on for you with future children, children. Okay, a bit of a celebration because it was my child's birthday last weekend, just a couple of days ago. So, this week's going so quickly. I've been so busy, but so I've had my child's birthday this week, but I've also actually had some really good news from a friend, and just excited about the fact that it's my fifth accurate pregnancy prediction just in the last few years. So I'm very excited about that as well. We just I was just told about that this week as well. So all things children in my life this week. So I thought I'd sort of share the love, and we'd use that for our topic of the week. Okay, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that, but also leaving comments and things like that, because it really does help the channel algorithms. So thank you in advance for that. Today we are using the Sacred Sea Oracle, okay, as well as, I'm not even sure how to say this, the Heloise Lenormand. I'm going to go with that. I think I might even just call it the stained glass Lenormand, because that's pretty much what it is. It's the stained glass Lenormand. All right. As always, timestamps will be in the description box, so you're more than welcome to check multiple placements. And some of you may even want to check out your children's placements and see what comes through there. Okay, but starting us off with Aries. Okay, Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to children? What does Aries need to know about children in their life? Whoa, okay, that one, obviously. We have the peaceful passageway. Choose serenity. Okay, so for some of you, this is making peace with your children in some way, shape, or form. Choosing serenity. Is the fight really worth the war? Is winning the fight worth losing the war? For some of you, there is the need to choose peace and serenity with children this week. They may be sort of pushing all your buttons. It may be time to just consciously choose, is it really worth the drama? Okay, clarify this energy for Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to children? I'm also getting there too that the passageway, that it may be there is multiple messages there as well. So there's something about guiding the children through peace and teaching them a little bit more about, how important it is to, choose peace in your own life, and teaching them maybe some skills in order to, find peace for themselves. That peaceful passageway, guiding them, guiding them in the right direction here this week. And for those of you who don't have children, I am actually picking up here for someone, Aries, that it's a bit of a vulgar kind of a message coming through. It is in relation to, I don't know if you can see the same thing as I can sort of see with the shape of this card here. The peaceful passageway. All right, so if we're trying for children, we need to approach the physical side of it, the sex, in a peaceful way. All right, we need to focus on making it very comfortable, intimate setting, very peaceful. Oh, it's coming through really vulgar, so it's just sort of saying, no rough, like steer clear from the rough, that sort of stuff. We're wanting to do the peaceful, easing into things with a massage and, candles. I'm just sort of getting like the intimacy is very, very important. If you are wanting to try for children, that's, just something that could actually, it does sort of seem to help for you at this particular time, Aries. We do have the Child coming through with the Path. Okay, so once again, peaceful pathways. We do see with the pathway here too, the pathways, the road card, it does talk about a decision. So needing to choose that serenity. Once again, we do see on one side of that choice, we have the child energy here. Okay, so you need to choose what is best for the child. You need to choose, ways to deal with things that are, very playful and innocent. The path of innocence, the path of sort of naivety here a little bit. But it's that playful, adventurous, very, very childlike innocence. That kind of serenity being guided along the path here, choosing that, because on the other side of that path we do have the snake energy. Okay, so it's kind of telling me here that if the child does not have the skills to make choices in a peaceful, innocent kind of a manner, they will maybe choose alternate paths. Which may, I'm picking up for some of you, maybe dealing with teenagers as well. We know what they're like. So I'm just getting that, there is this, the decision to lie. So I'm kind of feeling that we're being guarded against that. Okay, so being very open and honest, with the children, but in a very serene kind of a way, that this is just the truth of the matter, rather than we're seeking peace here, because I'm just kind of getting that if we choose to argue, and if we choose to not just be fun and have fun and allow the child to be a child, we're not choosing serenity here, that you're actually guiding them to this behavior, to the deceptive kind of energy where, they may be tempted to lie. So I'm sort of picking up that you need to provide some sort of safety net here for the child to make good decisions and decisions. For example, choosing serenity, choosing peace, teaching the child, guiding the child to also know that, that sometimes it's better to just sit back and choose peace than to argue and, allow things to be so fiery and because the snake does talk about passion and it's got a bit of fire behind it there as well. So, and it can be quite poisonous, so you're kind of trying to guide the child to really be a child and enjoy just being a child in innocence and playfulness, rather than, the more that you're causing drama and tension and responsibilities and anything that's not serene around this child, it is actually kind of pushing them in another direction that you may not want them to go here, Aries. All right, so just be careful of that. I just feel as though it's just a choice of, guiding this child into the right directions to see life as an adventure rather than allowing betrayal to sort of bite them, to rear up and bite them kind of thing. Because there's many different paths we can take here. And, that snake energy, if we don't find the most serene, positive path, then the snake will find whatever path it can make, and that might bite you in the bum, down the track if we're pushing the child in the wrong direction here. It just feels as though the child just needs some more peace around them, and maybe a spot to. Maybe something. It's telling me about my child. They actually do in their schooling what they call mindful class. Like they do a lesson every day where they learn about how to meditate and how to be mindful of what they feel and the emotions and all that sort of stuff, and to be more mindful of how their actions may affect others. So empathy and things like that. So teaching your child meditation may actually be a really good thing here as well. It's just kind of steering them in the right direction. Aries, it just feels like it's a pivotal moment here where the child really needs to be steered in the right direction through peace rather than, they've done something wrong, so we need to argue about it. So just be careful of that at the moment, Aries. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements as well. All right. So that's what we're getting for you. But moving on to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, what does Taurus need to know in regards to children? What does Taurus need to know in regards to children? Priestess of Transition. Okay, that one says honor individuality. So making sure that we are honoring the things about the children in our lives that make them them. Honoring the individuality of each child. So if you have more than one child, make sure that we are honoring each of them in different kind of ways, and honoring that, wow, you are really good at this. Wow, you're really good at that. There just seems to be something like that. But there is a transition here as well. So some sort of change. I am feeling for some of you here, Taurus, that what's happening is it's kind of giving me this energy of bringing a new child into the home, but needing to at the same time honor each individual child that already exists within the home. So we're honoring the individuals and allowing them to, be a big part of the transition, of the changes that are happening around them. So it may not even be bringing a new child into the home. It could be a lot of different things happening around the home here, like moving home and things like that, moving, parents changing jobs and things like that. Somehow bringing the children and honoring them as an individual and showing them that they are part of the decision. They're not, they're not being set aside, and the adults are making the decisions completely without regard for the children in the circumstances. That we are honoring you as an individual, and I respect and honor your opinion here. I'm the parent, and I may end up making a different decision. I may have already sort of got the decision already made, but I want to honor you as an individual and ask your opinion, ask your advice, honor you as well. You are a part of this family. The family is not just the parents. The parent, it's made up of all of us. So honoring each individual child within the family and respecting. I feel like there's an element of respect, showing them a little bit of respect, in order to make them feel as though they are a part of the whole, rather than it's just, my way or the highway kind of thing. Taurus, or it could even just be as simple as sitting down and having a conversation with the child. Like, this is going on, this is changing in our life. How do you feel about that? recognizing their feelings, recognizing what's going on, recognizing that it's affecting them just as much as it's affecting, the household as a whole. All right. So that may be important for some of you here, but we'll clarify that here. Taurus, what does Taurus need to know right now in regard to children? Knowledge, education. We have the book coming through first. Okay, so knowledge, learning more about the child, learning more about what they think, what they feel, what their opinion is, what their advice is, pretty much what we just sort of spoke about. The next card we have here is the Mountain. So that does talk about obstacles, challenges, and, possible delays, blockages coming through here. We also have the Woman there as well. So we do see nurturing the emotions in the children, very, very important here, in order to overcome any obstacles, any blockages, any challenges that we're facing here. So, I kind of feel like the transition itself is the blockage, is the challenge that we're facing here. So learning a little bit more about it, and learning and teaching go hand in hand as well. So it's like I said, it could just be having that conversation with the children about, look, this is what's going on. Teaching them, this is what is going on, this is what this is going to mean, this is what it's going to look like, giving them the opportunity to ask questions about what's happening, what things are, what's actually changing here, what it's going to look like when it's changed. And that actually helps, prevent us from having this huge blockage in the middle. We're nurturing the child's emotions, and we're offering them a safe space to have those emotions and allow them to be part of the ones helping us climb through these obstacles. Okay, so those challenges, we're taking them on board. We're not walking up this mountain all by ourselves. We're not being this solid, unmoving mountain. We're allowing the child to walk by our side, and face those challenges with us, rather than them just being affected by these things. All right, so I'm just getting that division there between the adults and the children, just needing to, have a conversation, and even if you're not taking them on board, because I know as a parent that sometimes we've already made those decisions, and we already know this is going to happen, this has got to happen, whatever. And the child kind of has no choice in the matter, but allowing them to think that they've got a choice or an opinion in the matter can make a huge difference. All right. Because we all just want to be seen and heard. Yeah. So I feel as though that may be what this child needs, and it just helps, strengthen the connection between you and the child anyway. So that's what we have for you. More than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and we will move on over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what does Gemini need to know right now in regards to children? What does Gemini need to know in regard to children? Manta Ray Mother. Look at that card. The designs on this card are something else, I tell you. Compassionate kindness. Okay, so the children in your life are just needing a little bit more, even if you are their mother and you're already providing a mothering role for the children, they're just needing a little bit more, okay, just a little bit more motherly expression. I kind of feel for some of you here, Gemini, it's we just get caught up in the day-to-day, all right, is what I'm picking up here, is that we're just a little bit caught up in the day-to-day. We're a little bit caught up in the whole, having to have things done, nagging the children to have the chores done, and go and do this, go and do that, go and do this. They just need some nurturing moments, all right? Just a little bit more time set aside specifically to be the mother, to, even if you're not the mother, okay? We're needing that mother type, that archetype role model for the children at the moment. So, maybe they just need to spend some time with their mother, or they need some time, what's the word? Honoring their mother in some kind of way, honoring the mother energy. So learning how to mother others as well. Because, you know, the mother energy, it's nurturing. It's learning how to nurture. It's learning how to be empathetic. All right, so that's just coming through there, but we'll clarify it for you as well. And for those of you who do not have, I want to say, I was about to start talking about pregnancy then, but I'm feeling actually it's more along the lines of those of you who do not have a mother figure in your life. That's kind of what you're needing at the moment as well, Gemini. You may not even be aware of that, but you are needing some mother energy in your realm. You know, if you've got some good friends, ask them, look, I just need someone who's just going to, you know, I'm missing that mother energy right now. You know, I need that kind of thing. There's a lot of support groups and things like that you know, offer that kind of energy for you. You know, if you don't have a mother figure in your life. For some of you, you may actually be getting a mother figure coming into your life here, Gemini. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on, but Spirit is being very... it's not the right reading for it, guys. Oh, the universe today is wanting to talk about a lot of sex stuff. Because literally just said, you can call me mummy. So that might be relevant to somebody there, Gemini. Maybe that's just sort of letting us know that, you know, just asking your partner to be a little bit nurturing, you know, asking someone that you're intimate with to be nurturing towards you. You maybe just need a little bit of extra intimacy at the moment. So maybe seeking that out in some kind of way. I'm not going to take those because I wasn't really asking just yet. I'm also getting Earth Mother energy coming through as well. If you, like me, don't have a mother figure in your life, you can always ask the Earth, okay? Mother Earth, Gaia, whatever you want to consider that, you know, if you ask, she will come, all right? Do a meditation maybe on Earth Mother meditation or something like that. And a lot of the time you can feel that mothering embrace just as a byproduct. All right. She's there. Gemini. What else does Gemini need to know in regard to children? Messages for Gemini in regard to children. Some of you definitely are struggling with mother roles in your life, and whether it's your own mother roles, like that you are having to be for others, or whether it's that influence onto you, like, so seeking that mothering energy once again. I do see that, you know, a lot of you are struggling a little bit with that at the moment. We have the snake coming through first here. So some of you, like, I'm literally getting some of you sort of saying that my mother is Medusa. If you look at her face on, if you look at her directly, she'll turn you to stone. She like turns to stone. She's very cold and detached. So I am getting a very cold and detached mother figure around you here. So just be careful that that's not you, Gemini. All right. If you do have children, be careful that that's not you, and that you're not coming across as cold and detached towards your own children. I'm just picking that up there for some reason. I also have the fish and then the mountain coming through here. So it's very interesting. I've got Scorpio, Gemini, and then Capricorn coming through, and you're in the middle. You're in the middle here, Gemini. You're the little fishy in the middle. I'm not going to lie. It's telling me mummy issues, Gemini. It is telling me mummy issues. Because, you know, we see the mountain on the other side of you here, and that's blockages within your own self. you know, because you've like, because I'm once again, I'm getting this cold, detached energy around you when it comes to mother energy, which is very interesting because I'm doing a reading about children, but I'm picking up very strongly on the mother energy in your portion here, Gemini. So, you know, you can even see these mountaintops. It's like got a peak of snow, so it's like cold and icy. And you know, mountains, they're unmovable. They're stubborn. They don't allow, you know, you can't break a mountain down. So I'm kind of getting that for some of you here, you may have actually been raised in an environment with two parents that were quite detached emotionally. And that's actually created an abundance of mummy issues, not going to lie, some blockages, challenges that you need to sort of sort out when it comes to the mother archetype within your own self, and making sure that we're not passing that on as generational trauma to our children, all right? That we're not betraying our own children by continuing that problem. Compassionate kindness. For some of you, you do need to be more compassionate and kind towards yourself, and understanding that there's a reason that this is, you know, even those of you who had a very loving home when you were a child, there is just still some coldness or detached energy there that you are actually struggling with a little bit here. And I really feel as though you need to kind of look at that with compassion and kindness at the moment. You know, maybe that was the only way somebody knew how to be, all that sort of stuff. It is just causing you some dramas. I'm just getting like it's like a wealth of issues. I'm not going to lie. And for some of you, it's actually playing out in health issues as well. We may have some health issues arising. So I don't know why I'm not actually picking up anything about, you know, the actual children, but I am kind of getting, what I'm kind of getting is the example I say quite a lot of the time for private clients is that, you know, if you are, you know, even if you're not a mother, I just kind of use that as an example because we are doing the child reading today, and I am getting the mother energy here. But, you know, a mother, it's all well and good to say, you know, my whole life revolves around my children. I've got to make sure, you know, everything I do for them. Everything I give for them. You know, I'll give them the food off my plate before I eat. All those sorts of things. That's all well and good, but you know, what do your children need the most? In order to, you know, if you're especially single mothers, as an example here, that you know, if that mother is not okay, how is she going to support those children? If that mother is starving, how would she then, you know, how would she actually help the children, support the children? You know, if something happens to that mother and she's taken out of that situation from health issues, what happens to the children then? There's no mother to look after them, to care for them. You don't want it to get to that point. All right. So a big part of a lot of people do struggle to understand that a big part of being a parent is taking care of you so that you can be the best parent you can be. Being the best parent you can be means that you have to be okay, because if you're not okay, you can't be the best parent. Simple as that. You know, and some people might want to argue about that, you know, with different ways, but at the end of the day, like to be the best that you can be for your own children, you do need to, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself as well, because if something happens to you, who's going to do all the things that you do? Who's going to do it if you are unable? All right, so that's just coming through, that you do need to pay some attention to yourself here, Gemini, and whatever the mothering issues are around your own self. All right, so whether that's an impact on the way that you're mothering and just being aware to not allow yourself to become cold and detached, or whether this is, you know, some actual issues with the way that you've been mothered and nurtured in the past. Okay, so sorry if that's a little bit confronting, Gemini. I was not really expecting that myself, but that's what we've got. More than welcome to check your other placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. 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 What does Cancer need to know right now in regard to children? Cancer. What does Cancer need to know right now in regard to children? Ooh, Visionary Sea Queen. That says potent projections. So Cancer, what this is telling me is we're looking toward the future here. Okay, we're not looking at the right now. We're looking, we're looking toward the future, but we're only looking at the now as in what can we do here now in order to get to that future that we are desiring. The projection of where we want to be, how we want to be, the vision of what sort of a parent do I want to be, what do I want for my children's lives, what do I want them to be like when they're an adult, those sorts of things. How can I help my child achieve that for themselves in the future? So we're looking forward, looking into the future of where we want this to go. For some of you, this is definitely looking at we're needing to actually envision what we want our family to look like, especially those of you who do not have children as of yet. You kind of do need to make your 5-year plan kind of thing as to where do I see myself? Do I see myself having children? What do I need to do now in order to get the children, the amount of children that I want in the future, even if that's 0? What steps do I need to be taking now to make sure that that's happening? Do I need to be talking to somebody about, look, we need to start thinking about having children, trying for children? We need to start talking about the fact that I don't think I want children. We need to start talking about, saving college funds for children, those sorts of things, saving up a nest egg for children, all those sorts of things. We're looking to the future here. Cancer. Who do I see myself having children with? For some of you, Cancer. What does Cancer need to know in regard to children? Okay, so this is extending on that just a little bit here too. So firstly, we have the house. So what do I want my home to look like? What do I want my home to look like? How am I going to provide safety and security for my potential children? Where do I want to live? How big do I want my family to be? Maybe I need to, think about, do I need to buy a bigger house for all the children I want to have? Or am I going to be able to raise my children here in this city in the middle of this tiny unit? There's all different types of families. How do I want mine to look? What is mine going to look like? What do I need to do right now in order to start making plans for the family that I want in the future? We do have the park, the garden coming through here. Compromising. Some of you need to compromise a little bit on what those plans are going to be. Some of you do need to have a meeting, basically. It's kind of telling me have a meeting about it. Have a meeting about it, meeting of the minds kind of thing, where maybe you and a partner, maybe you, needing to meet with this person and, actually sit down and have that chat about, where do we want to go here? And for others of you, I'm picking up for those of you who are single, it's kind of, you're like, well, I better get into action on meeting somebody so that I can have children in the future. So I do see some of you, starting to go out on dates and think about dating, thinking about the sort of person that you want to have children with, for those of you who currently are single. So you may actually start dating in order to, meet these people. Then we do have the mountain energy here. Okay, Cancer. That is Capricorn's card. Cancer, Capricorn placements are very strongly recommended for strong Cancer placements. You guys are the zodiac alternates, so you balance each other out really well. Kind of a bit of yin-yang situation there. So you may be finding yourself drawn to Capricorn energy. Then that would be why it comes through as having a meeting with the Capricorn, because they're very structured, business-like. So it may become schedule me in, Capricorn, for a business meeting when we need to discuss children. Schedule it in. So some of you, that may be the case. All right, I'm picking that up there. But this is quite it's kind of telling me a couple of things here, because for a couple of you here, these two are going together. Okay, so we're looking at moving home, moving abroad, moving to the mountains, making a bit of a mountain change. I've always envisioned living in the mountains with children. I've always envisioned living overseas with children. Whatever that means for you, we see you compromising in the middle here, in meeting the struggles with the security. All right, so that's what's meeting in the middle for a lot of you here, is we're needing to meet this vision of where we want to be in the future. We need to put in the work, start thinking about how we're going to put in the work, how we're going to overcome any obstacles standing in the way of that ideal family future. All right, so we're starting to think about the future, what we want for the future, how we're going to get there, and that's when we do start putting in a bit of hard work, being determined to have that ideal future for ourselves. Some of you, there is a bit of compromise in the middle, okay, so needing to take that into consideration as well. Like, okay, maybe I can't move to the mountains, but what would be the good compromise on doing that? A smaller town, maybe, rather than this chock-a-block city. I am picking that up for some of you here, that you're sort of realizing, do you know what? I can't raise children where I'm living right now. It's not an appropriate place to raise children. I want to move so that I can start thinking about my ideal family, and that I'm a lot closer to that vision. It's kind of like preparing for the life that you want to have, not the life that you do currently have, is what I'm picking up here. So, removing as many of those obstacles that are blocking you from that future as possible, coming through there, Cancer. All right. And like I said, some of you, there is some Capricorn energy there as well. So if you do have a Capricorn child, you may just be having a bit of a struggle with that Capricorn child at the moment. And the answer to that problem is, you need to answer that issue, that blockage, that problem with the Capricorn child. You need to, bring security, stability to that child, just in another kind of a way. That's how we meet them in the middle, is they just actually need a little bit more structure and security. So it's something very interesting, because a lot of people don't realize how much children need routine and structure. So knowing exactly that if I do this, this is going to happen, consequences, especially Capricorn children, they really thrive on organization and structure. All right. So maybe providing a little bit more structure and making a weekly planner. This is what we do on this day. This is what we do on that day. It may actually really help with that particular child, to have very clear expectations of what they need to achieve. When it comes to household chores, these are your expectations. Here's your planner to plan out. Do this chore on this day. Do this chore at this time. This is what I expect of you. Bang, bang, bang. I feel like that structure, you will see the difference pretty immediately for a lot of you there. All right, so that's what we've got for you, Cancer. But you're more than welcome to check out other placements and, subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate that as well as any comments that you leave on the channel. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo, what's going on for Leo? What does Leo need to know in regard to children? What does Leo need to know in regard to children? Sea Spirit Queen. I actually really love this energy for you, Leo, because another unexpected factor of the children topic. Do you know what this says? It does say, Sea Spirit Queen, honor animal souls. Honor animals as your children as well. Treat them as such. Honoring your children. Honoring all your children. Okay, fluffy, feathered, whatever. If they're like mine, they're scaly and fins. I've got scales and fins in my house. Spikes and fins. So I've got a fish and a lizard. Okay, so honor the animal souls as well. Your animals are feeling left out. They're like, I'm Leo's child. Why doesn't she treat me like a child? I actually heard she then. That's random. Normally I try not to genderize the readings, but I did hear a she. She's not treating me like her child. It's wanting to talk about your animals. Your animals. And if you don't have animals, if you don't have pets, Leo, maybe you need one. Maybe your child needs one. Let's see what we can get out of the lenormand for you. Leo, what does Leo need to know in regard to children? Clarify that third card, please. Clarify that third card. Firstly, we have the cross coming through. So I'm picking up there with that cross energy. I'm straight away picking up somebody has a bit of a, this burden on your shoulders, this cross to bear, that you are struggling to have children, that it's been a struggle. Have faith. Have faith, Leo. It feels as though children are part of your destiny. So if you are struggling to have children, have faith that it's going to happen eventually. It may not happen tomorrow, but it is going to happen. Now, when I say that, though, with what I'm seeing here, we have the clover, okay, which this is good luck's on your side. Fortune favors the bold, I want to say, but it's also, taking a chance, taking a bit of a risk here. Two, we have the clouds. Two, taking a chance to change your perception. Think about other alternate ways of having children. Maybe having a child is respecting that animal soul for some of you. That maybe that is enough for you. That pet, that maybe that is your child. Some of us have animals as children. That is perfectly fine. Because you can spend just as much money on pets as you can on actual children. They're just as much fun. They're just as crazy. They drive you just as insane. They don't talk back. That's a helpful thing. But you also do have to teach them and help them learn. And, there's a lot of similarities here. I'm not going to lie. There's certain times when, as a parent, sometimes you actually catch yourself talking to your child the way that you would speak to a pet. It sounds horrible, but it's true. Sometimes they respond to it really, really well. Certain things, children actually respond sometimes to it really well. You think about the way that you train a dog, and one of the first things you have to learn when you're training a dog is how to put on the mum voice. It works on kids. It works on animals. All right, that mum voice works on adults sometimes too. But there is a lot of, I think a lot of people get really antsy about how it's like, oh, but that's an animal, but it's not an actual human, blah, blah, blah. But like I think humanity and animal kingdom have proven time and time again that, one is not necessarily exclusively better than the other. We see a lot of things in humanity that are definitely nowhere near the kindness and the empathy of of animals, and vice versa. We see multiple times in the animal world examples of, wow, that's weird, compared to humanity. So goes hand in hand. I do have that clouds clarified by the anchor, so I do just feel as though you're just stuck. You're just a bit stuck on a certain perspective, stuck on a certain way of thinking, stuck on and it's clouded your judgment a little bit. And I'm not just talking about, I'm not just talking about if you can't have kids, just have a pet. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that there's alternate ways around things. You don't have to be pregnant. You don't have to be biologically related to the child, okay, to have a child. You don't have to be young to have a child. You may be 80 and wanting a child. There's you don't even, it's not necessarily that you're going to have a child and raise a child. It's that you may want more children in your life, and there's ways to make things happen. If you're determined enough, if you take enough risks to think about things a little bit differently and think about things from a different perspective, you will find a way. All right? Have faith. It will happen for you and it will fulfill you. All right? Whether it's an animal, whether it's an adopted child, whether it's, a friend's child that you come and babysit, or, whatever that is for you in your particular situation. It will happen. Okay, Leo, have faith. Have faith. And for those of you who do already have children, have a little bit more faith in the child. All right, have a little bit more faith in the child. Take a chance on, once again, changing your perspective on what you believe the child is and is not capable of. They may be capable of more than you're giving them credit for. I just feel like I needed to add that for somebody as well. All right, so that's what we have for you, Leo. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Virgo, what does Virgo need to know in regard to children? What does Virgo need to know in regard to children? Dolphin spirit. Activate more bliss. Fun, Virgo. Fun. There needs to be fun mode activated at the moment. Playful energy. I feel like life's just gotten a little bit too life. It has its way of taking over responsibilities and, the boring, droning day-to-day stuff. Make sure you take time for fun and for playful energy. Just getting down and playing with the kids. Force them to if you have to. I know what kids are like. Sometimes they don't want to come and play what you want to play, or something that we can both play. Sometimes they're, leave me alone, I just want to play my PlayStation, or whatever that is. Not all children, of course, but that's it. Family night, all right? Family. You got no choice in the matter, child. I feel like you are actually like enforcing the fun a little bit more here, Virgo. Maybe it's you that needs the fun. Just to allow yourself time to sit down and just have fun and just be playful with the child, rather than getting so caught up in the day-to-day. Virgo, what's going on for our Virgos? What does Virgo need to know in regard to children? Just clarify that third card for Virgo. Firstly, we have the fox coming through here. Now, foxes are very independent. They're very single-natured. All right. So I just feel like, Virgo, that you've just gotten a little bit wrapped up in life, just a little bit wrapped up in your own what's going on, and you know, look, I need to do this for work. I need to do that. You know, responsibilities, and you know, I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to focus on this, and I hate to say it, but I'm getting that the child is like, oh, mum or dad, they're just being selfish. They don't ever care about what I want to do. They only ever do what they want to do, which is always boring adult stuff. So I am picking that up. So take that how that resonates. You are just a little bit being your own very independent energy at the moment. You're not involving them quite as much. We do have the dog coming through here as well. So we do see that playful energy a little bit more there. That's more of a playful energy, a more compassionate, understanding. You know, being a friend to your children a little bit more. You know, being their friend, not and being a bit more playful as a friend would, rather than I'm a parent, I have to always be a parent. No, sometimes I can play and be a friend to them as well. All right, we do see the crossroad coming through here, the pathways. So making a decision, making a conscious decision here to, you know, teach and learn. We have the book here, teach and learn. For some of you, this is specifically a specific message about being a little bit more, you know, taking the time to spend with this child doing their homework, all right, but being very playful and fun about the way that you are, you know, I'm being your friend and helping you do your homework in a fun kind of a way as a friend, not as a rouse on you type parent kind of way. You know, we do just see that independent energy. We're trying to steer away from that a little bit here. So choosing the path where you're learning from this child just as much as you're teaching them, to guide them down a bit of a better path where, you know, for their life, that they're not, you know, because I'm just picking up here, Virgo, what happens 50 years from now when all of a sudden you're not working and you want to spend time with your child, and or you've set them up into this life where you've put them on this path where all they ever do is work, and you're, you know, sitting there wanting to spend time with them, and you're like, well, I'm getting old, I want to spend time with my children before I'm gone, and they don't want to spend time with you because they're too busy working. You're setting them up for this path now. All right. So make sure you're educating them in a way that is going to lead to the path you want in the future. All right. Because you have a lot to learn from them as well. There's a lot to learn from them as well, about, you know, being a bit more free spirited. Okay. And just seeing things, you know, without that adult perspective, just being happy in the moment, and enjoying the moment a little bit more there, Virgo. All right, so that's what we've got for you today. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, so Libra, what does Libra need to know in regard to children? What does Libra need to know in regard to children? Whale gatekeeper. The whale gatekeeper energy, this talks about, it says innate infinite wisdom. Libra, for those of you who do already have children, you're feeling like you should withhold certain information from the child. don't. You have a lot of wisdom to share with this child, these children, for some of you. You have this endless wisdom, this obviously age-appropriate stuff, yeah, but don't be afraid to share your truth and, you know, things that you have learnt in your life with your child. There may be actually a lot of things that can actually provide your child. I did actually have a very similar conversation with one of my closest friends who's a Libra, and she was talking about how her child had heard some of the stuff about her experiences in life, and, you know, she was worried about, you know, how much she was exposing the child to and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a reassurance that it's, for that particular person, it's kind of coming through as a reassurance that, you know, this is part of what helps this child create wisdom for their own self. Our experiences as parents, you know, can actually help the children so that they don't have to have those same experiences in their lives as what we've had in our lives, that they can, you know, use our wisdom to propel them further. That, you know, goes into the collective wisdom of the family, I suppose, in a lot of ways, where, you know, once that's part of the energy and they know about that, then, you know, it may actually help them make better decisions in the future, those sorts of things, avoid certain things. There's a lot of wisdom that you have to share as well with the child, just in general. Doesn't necessarily have to be that sort of stuff. It's just sort of saying that there's a lot of wisdom that you have that you can share with the children in your life. Don't be afraid to tell them stuff, even the hard stuff. Don't be afraid to share it with them, even if you think they're not listening. Libra, what does Libra need to know in regard to children? Just clarify that first card. I am getting the first message, but clarify that second message, please. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So firstly, we have the stork energy coming through. That message I just clarified that it was the second message that came through here, but I'm going to tell you first because I clarified that with the child. Okay, so I think a lot of you might know where I'm going with this, because the stork card is my pregnancy card, and that was clarified by the child. Okay, so there may be a pregnancy, another child on the cards here for a lot of you Libra. So whether you're having another child, or, you know, welcoming another child into your life, maybe your child is having a child. Maybe your child is about to tell you that they're pregnant. You know, for those of you where that is age appropriate. Pregnancy and what it's like to have children and having children, the process of going through having children. The stork also stirs up brand new energy. It stirs things up. And then what it's sort of stirring up for a lot of you here, we have the lilies, followed by the letter. Okay, so we definitely see with the letter there on the table that communication is definitely necessary. Talking to the children about all this sort of stuff, the wisdom, the experiences that you've been through, your wisdom when it comes to what it's like to have children, what it's like to, be pregnant, what it's like to have a child. It is somehow integral to your child, like to somebody else's long term. So the things that you're sharing with these children now, um, it is actually a big part of who they grow into, who they become long term. It's knowledge that they then have forever, kind of thing, and it helps them understand the long term energy and the and because I am getting a connection here with long term energy about the children as well. So understanding that having a child, like, because for in the example of you having like a teenage child, for example, having these conversations with them and letting them know, the realities of having children and the lifelong effect of having children, and the responsibilities and all that sort of stuff. It may actually prevent unwanted pregnancies in a teenager here for some of you, because you're making them understand the long term responsibilities, that it's not just you get this cute little baby and you get to look after it, but this is a lifetime of struggles. It's a lifetime of happiness and awesome stuff with children, but there's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of, struggles, a lot of arguments, a lot of everything, under the sun that comes through here with children. Talking about your wisdom of seeing what friends have gone through, of seeing what family members have gone through when it comes to children. We all know somebody who, has had a child that has then gone on to, have serious issues in their life, and that's affected the relationships. A lot of us know somebody that is not in contact with a mother or a child, and talking about all these sorts of things with your own children, or the children that are in your life. For some of you, talking about these things with your partner, and when it comes to, what you want in the future for children, talking about all these sorts of things, the responsibilities, stirring up the conversations, stirring up these harder conversations, very, very intimate conversations, very personal stuff, like talking about birth plans and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the time that is very intimate stuff. Talking about some of the struggles that you have faced, having children or being a child or having a child, very, very intimate personal stuff. But that communication is necessary. You need to stir up those, hard conversations, I feel, because it's all about, learning, sharing your wisdom, and then knowing that once you've shared your wisdom, that wisdom belongs to that other person as well. They then have that wisdom as well. They then see that perspective, and they then understand things from a different perspective as well. So it's not just for your own self here. It's a thing for both you and them. It may be very hard conversations to have, but the wisdom is paramount. The knowledge is something that is going to help in the long run as well here. All right. It may, even if you're having that conversation right now with an 8-year-old, it's going to actually have a longer term effect on that child's wisdom. Ultimately, that understanding that, there's responsibilities involved with having children. Having children isn't just fun. It's a lot of other things. It's a lot of things, like it changes your life having children. So, it's time to have those conversations. And so very, very interesting to me that this is pretty much exactly what my friend has just gone through with my Libra friend, with her child. So, but for her, maybe she's the one having another child. Not going to lie, if you're watching, ooh, That's interesting. I just picked up that. If you are watching, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait and you can tell me if you watch this or not. I'm going to do a personal reading on that for you, okay? And we'll talk about that. Let me know if you watch. You know who you are, because you know who you are. Ask me in a couple of days for that, and we'll talk about it, because I think I'm picking something up there, and I want to delve into that. I'm quite nosy, as we know, and yeah, so let me know. So that's what we've got for Libra, and for my one particular friend there. Moving on, I do actually need to, talking about children, I do actually need to pause so that I can go pick up my own child from school, because it's raining, and he does not have an umbrella. So I will go and do that, but I'll be back very, very soon with Scorpio. So make sure you subscribe, guys. Okay, Scorpio, what do you need to know about children? Messages for Scorpio in regard to children. Priestess of Purity. That says crystalline purity. Priestess of Purity, crystalline purity. It's not really telling me too much straight away here, Scorpio. Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know about children, please? And how does that connect to Priestess of Purity? One card to clarify how that connects to the Priestess of Purity energy, please. Okay. Very interesting message here for you, Scorpio. It's, we are looking at the topic of children. It's not necessarily delving too much into the idea of children, to be completely honest. I do feel as though there are some of you that are seriously considering not having children. For those of you, and remaining, somewhat pure, away from, the responsibilities and all that sort of stuff that are associated with children. For others of you, it's kind of more a message about the examples that we give to children by being ourselves. And it kind of wants to talk about some other stuff going on right now rather than the children directly. Firstly, we have the house coming through here, followed by the mice. Okay, so straight away here, we do see a couple of potential issues coming through there with the house and the mice directly together. So some of you may actually be having to relocate, and there's some concerns, some stress about what's going on in the family home at the moment. The house generally represents, your home, your physical house, your family. It does represent safety and security, the things that make you feel stable, having that stable home to come come back to at the end of the day. The mice, on the other hand, destabilize things or talk about things that have been non-stable in the past, so the mice does talk about things sort of leeching from, taking from, eating away at, stressing you out, loss in certain circumstances here. So for some of you, there may be some issues going on around the actual property of your home that you're living in, where, there is some sort of, loss of that stability and security. Some of you may have even, lost the place that you're currently living and are having to relocate and move elsewhere. There's a lot of stress associated with the home front right now. For some of you, you may have even feel as though you've lost or had taken from you your actual children, or your connection with children. So I am picking up there on somebody with adult children that you're not currently in contact with, that has been destabilized. You have sort of lost contact, lost security and stability in that connection with children. Some of you also, there may actually just be a mouse issue in the house at the moment as well. So that might be affecting the children in the property for some of you as well, that there's literally mice in the house. And it is sort of throwing you off your stability and your security in where you are. It's just very interesting that this is coming through with this crystalline purity energy. It's like transparency and innocence, keeping things pure. So for some of you, this is talking about, if you do have things going on with the home and losing the home and things like that, that there is the need to, keep the children innocent to the full extent of what's going on here, but also to keep your own thoughts very pure when it comes to those things as well. That the more innocent and hopeful and positive that you can remain here in a situation like that. Obviously, if there is some sort of instability and you're not knowing what's going on and things like that, it's a very stressful time. But there is the need to sort of shield any children from that energy, and to sort of think the best, and just sort of understand that the next card we have the pathway here. So this is the crossroads. So it's like to kind of just focus on the decisions that need to be made in a very pure, innocent kind of a way, rather than allowing that stress to take control and start making wild decisions because you're stressed out and things like that. It's kind of giving the benefit of the doubt and understanding that this is just part of the journey. I do have that, the linking card here. We have the stork. So for some of you, may actually find yourself, I'm not really feeling, because that is my pregnancy card, yeah? But I'm not really feeling like pregnancy right this very second. I'm feeling pregnancy as the more that things are unstable in your home life, that may be when the pregnancy pops in, right in the thick of it all kind of thing. And so it's very, very important for you to, remain pure in that sort of a sense. not allowing the stress to affect you, because it will then, affect the pregnancy as well. And it's kind of like, everything all at once, and it's like, oh, this is the last thing that we were expecting when, we've got so much else going on. It's kind of like everything gets stirred up all at once. But I feel like for those of you where this is unsteady housing, that's part of the plan here, is that it seems like it's all going on at once. But there's like it's part of the journey. It's part of the path here. And it's actually creating the new energy. So focusing on the new energy and the potential of where this could take you, is where we're sort of, focusing on the pure hopes and dreams and optimism. The bottom of the deck here, we do see the peaceful passageway. So, that one says choose serenity. So very similar idea, choosing peace and quiet, and, choosing to see this as a serene sort of opportunity, a fresh start, because that purity energy, it does bring to light ideas of, like, it is giving me virginity as well here. But it's like a brand new start, a virgin start, like, because I'm getting references to, Virgin Mary, pregnancy kind of thing as well, which is a bit random, but it's kind of like creating something out of nothing. And that's what's coming here. This brand new energy is giving you this opportunity to, have a brand new, fresh start. So even if we're not looking at an actual pregnancy, we are looking at, a brand new blank slate being born into the world for you here, in some kind of way. But you do definitely, need to just be careful with the stress levels I'm feeling. And the pathway, the passageway is peace. All right, choosing peace and serenity, and that cleansing, pure, innocent energy is best for your situation in the long run, no matter how tumultuous and unsecured you feel with housing. I do feel as though it's either housing or your family situation in general. So because it is also giving me that, that Virgin Mary energy, where it's, the pregnancy has really nothing to do with the father. So I'm picking up on that as well. So we may be seeing somebody who is having a pregnancy with no family support as well. So I'm sorry that's not super positive there. I will just get one as a sort of, where does this path lead, Scorpio? Where does this last path lead, Scorpio, in reference to children, please? Well, we see the child, right? So we see the child, we see the happiness. This is a happy new beginning as well, fresh new beginning, brand new beginning. So we do see this brand new beginning being birthed out into the world with your brand new child, or with yourself just in general here. Some of you, like I said, are choosing, to not have children at all. And that's where we're seeing that purity, and that's why we're getting that sort of virginity energy coming through here, because you're choosing a life of peace before, introducing things like children into, because they have a way of shattering the peace and quiet in your life. It's definitely not quite with a child in the house. I can guarantee that one. Although mine's getting a bit older now, so he's able to control himself when needed. So that's what we've got for you, Scorpio. It does sort of, it's all about a brand new adventure, okay? So no matter what's sort of going on for you right here, right now, we are seeing some new adventures coming in when in regards to children. And it's like, free will is very, very strong in your energy. So it's really whatever you make of it. All right, whatever you choose it to be, that's how it can be. All right, and if you're choosing a peaceful path, regardless of what's going on in your life, if you're choosing a peaceful path, that's what you will have. All right, so that's what we've got for you, Scorpio. more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know in regard to children? Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know on the subject of children? Seahorse spirit. Create the unexpected. The thing that's actually coming to mind with this spirit is the fact that I know we all would know this already, but it's seahorses. It's actually the fathers that take care of the babies. It's not the mothers. It's actually the fathers that are pregnant. You know, like I might be a bit shady in my exact knowledge there, but I know that with seahorses, it's the male seahorses that do play a very, very big role when it comes to babies. So if you're interested to know exactly the proper fact, look that up. But this sort of does show me here that this, you know, respect ways I'm up you here, you know, the sort of situation where stay-at-home dads instead of the mum, you know, and the mum wants to work, dad's a stay-at-home dad, and you're creating. It's unexpected from the norm. Create the unexpected. I'm just going to quickly pause. I seem to have grabbed a glitch. Won't be a sec. Okay, hopefully that has fixed that. Sorry about that if that was affecting the video. I don't know whether these, when it does that to me, whether it's actually doing it on the video or if it's just me seeing the glitch, or I have no idea. I am waiting on a new device, guys, so it's a matter of time. Once I've got that set up, we will be on a new device. So hopefully I won't be having as many issues with the device. Okay, but let's have a look and get some extra clarity here. But that's the main sort of one coming through, is the whole unexpected from the norm stuff going on for you when it comes to children. And things like, you know, creating the unexpected in the sense too of how you're having children. So you may be using surrogates, you may be adopting, those sorts of things as well, maybe coming into play for some of you here, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know in regard to children? Well, once again, I keep getting that reference to the stay-at-home dad kind of energy. That's what's coming through here. I just feel as though, you know, the way that you're raising children, or the way that you're having or not having children, it's something that is unexpected from the norm, which once again, it could definitely be not having children at all, or you know, I'm getting same-sex partnerships coming through here as well. So, you know, but you may still, even if you're in a same-sex relationship, you may still be having children. But it may be, you know, the seahorse that's holding the baby for you rather than you yourself, if you're a female born. We have the ring coming through here. So we do see relationships, cycles. For those of you who are trying to conceive, cycles, look at the cycles, check your cycles, keep better track of your cycles, but not so much the cycles that you normally would think, okay? Because I'm just getting a message here about, it's for somebody specific who's trying, or who's already trying to fall pregnant. There's just something with your cycles that's just a little bit not normal. It's not, you know, you're creating the unexpected, okay? So you're the sort of person that you're going to fall pregnant while you're on your period, or you're the sort of person that you're just randomly, you know, you think that you're ovulating, but you actually ovulate days earlier than you think you do, and things like that. So there's just something different about your cycle, okay? So you may need to track your cycle in a different kind of a way than what normally would be. And I'm also getting, like, if you're trying any of those, the old wives' tales on things on how to fall pregnant and how to conceive, do the opposite. Create the unexpected and make that the thing that works for you. All right. So, because I heard so many of those sorts of things when I was pregnant with my son. Like, there's just so many random ones. The ones I remember seem to be, because I went 2 weeks overdue with my son. And so everyone had all these different ideas for me on how to, make the baby come, because it's not coming yet. You got to make the baby come. You got to eat this, and then the baby will come. Go and eat some spicy food and the baby will be born. Go for a ride on a bumpy road and then the baby will come. And then it's go and have lots of sex and then the baby will come. None of that worked. If anything, that's just my family, because the firstborns in my family just always overdue. I don't know what that's about, but it seems to be a thing in my family. The firstborns are usually overdue. But there's also the need here. We do have the birds coming through as well. So we do see the need for you to really rely and trust your connection, your relationship, your partnership, whoever this is that you're having a child with, as well as those of you who do already have children, creating unexpected relationships with them through conversation. So having the sorts of conversations that, may not be the normal conversations to have with your children. You're going ahead and having those conversations and making sure we are talking things through in unexpected ways and things like that, in order to achieve your wishes here. I am sort of picking up specifically for a lot of you, this is messages on, how to conceive is what's coming through the strongest here. So looking at your cycles is coming through, but also relying on your relationship and trusting and having those conversations with your partner about, what do we think are traditional roles, and which ones are not for us, and what is actually for us. Having those conversations, with the person helping you raise children as to, what works for us. And once again, if you already have children, maybe having the conversation with children, this is not traditionally how parents and children do stuff, but what do we do? How do we do things? Working it out for suit your family, not necessarily suiting stereotypically expected norms. So it's kind of things like how long the child should live at home and things like that, just things that, there is some sort of stereotype of that's the norm, or, you don't let, the big one that I got was, why do you let your boy have long hair? Because he looks like a girl. I don't stick to stereotypical norms with my son. We play with Barbies. We wear whatever we want to wear. We wear our hair however we want to wear it. So that's something that has come through a lot in my personal experience with when it comes to the expected, that it's expected that the boys should have short hair. Not in my family, they don't. I personally like long hair on myself, on my boy, on my potential partners. Not to say that I don't, I've let my son cut his hair short when he's wanted to and things like that. But it's all about, what do we aim for here? What's our dream? What's our goals here? And what's going to work best for us? What's going to make us the happiest? What do we have to look forward to the most? And how can we make those wishes come true here? The family goals and how we can get, the unexpected to work for us in our situation, because you know what, our situation is unique to us. Just because it's not how, my parents or my grandparents or, my friends down the road or whoever does things doesn't mean it's not a good way for me to do things. I do things my way. I am uniquely me. This is my family. we do what works for us. All right. Even if it's unexpected to other people. All right. So that's what we've got for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know in regard to children? Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know in regard to children? Oh, I love this. We did see this for possibly Cancer, maybe Gemini. I can't remember now. We have the Manta Ray Mother. Okay, compassionate kindness. All right, so we are seeing mother energy coming through. So yeah, maybe in Gemini. I think it was Gemini that actually had that message. So if you do have strong Gemini placements, your child's a Gemini, whatever, you may want to check Gemini as well, because that is a very strong message about the mother energy. So whether you are the mother, whether we're talking about your mother, even if you're not a mother and you're not even a parent, we're talking about that mother energy that you provide to others, which is nurturing, which is allowing someone, that shoulder to cry on, the empathy, the mothering energy of nurture, of love, of emotional output, of protection, and those sorts of things, standing up for people. A mother will always stand up for the weakest, that kind of thing. Calling people out. I'm getting here, Capricorn, calling people out. I'm kind of getting this energy here. I'm just getting a message about protecting somebody and like calling somebody out at the shops. I'm getting specifically at the shops here as well, that your mother instincts kind of kick in, regardless of whether you're a mother or not. I'm kind of getting this energy of your mother instincts kicking in, and you turning around to somebody and saying, don't treat that person or that child that way. And you're seeing something and you're saying something is what I'm picking up here. And you're like, that is not how we do it. We need to pull ourselves back and realize what we're doing here. This is not the way to do that. We don't do that. So whether maybe for some of you, this is with your own mother as well, because I am getting this energy of like, when it comes to this particular situation, it feels like something like very outdated. I'm getting the word outdated. So it's like something that, 20, 30, 40 years ago may have been a normal way to parent, but you are looking at this and you're going, no, that is not okay. We can't do that. It's not okay. We now know better than that. I'm specifically getting an example of giving children alcohol. So if you're seeing someone doing that, you may be calling them out about that and saying, look, we don't do that. I know back in the day it was an old wives' tale or whatever to, dip the baby's dummy in some brandy and that'll calm the baby down. Do you know why it calms the baby down? Because you're getting them drunk. They're getting intoxicated. Oh my gosh. Some personal stuff coming up there. My child's grandmother did that when he was a baby, and I lost my mind, and I was not okay with that. Sorry, Capricorn. It's just this very uncomfortable today for some reason. Capricorn, and it's also this energy too of like, because I'm just getting this really weird energy, Capricorn. And everyone that watches the channel, and you would know some of the stuff I've been saying to Capricorn quite regularly about some of the spiritual messages I get for Capricorn. They're pretty hectic. Like you guys are definitely on path with the spiritual stuff. So I love that for you. But I'm actually getting this this nurturing seed like within you, Capricorn. I'm feeling that you are pregnant. Even if you're not pregnant, it's like you have this seed of life within you. Wow. It's like some of you may actually like you may actually be considering like being a surrogate for somebody, just because you just want everybody to be able to be a mother if they want to, you know. It's this seed of life within you that you're willing to protect this seed within you. So for some of you, it's like some of you may even be pregnant as well, but I'm not feeling it's actual pregnancy as much. I'm feeling more along the lines of like it's more like a spiritual thing, this seed of life within you that you're protecting and growing and nurturing and loving. Are you secretly Mother Earth, Capricorn? What's going on here? Maybe some of you are just very connected to the earth at the moment. You are an earth sign, yes, so maybe you just are really super connected to the earth at the moment. I am really getting strong that, you know, and surrogate energy. I am definitely getting a surrogate energy here, Capricorn. So some of you may actually want to think about that. If you know somebody around you that is seeking a surrogate, I feel like you may actually really want to seriously consider doing that for them. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know in regard to children? We have the park, the garden there first. So that's like meeting. That's like a meeting of people. A lot of the time here, a meeting of destiny for some of you here. We have the cross coming through as well. So that's like, you know, the spiritual element once again coming through. But it's like you're you know, because the cross can also talk about, you know, responsibilities and burdens that somebody is carrying. And I feel like that's what's kind of happening here is you're meeting somebody halfway and you're helping them carry the load. You're helping them carry that burden on their shoulders so that they don't have to carry it alone. So for a lot of you, this is you being a surrogate mother, whether it's to an actual child, to an actual baby, or to you know, a friend, a family member that just needs some extra support, and you're giving them that motherly role. You're playing a very motherly role for this person at the moment. You're protecting them. You're looking out for them. You're, you know, allowing them to express emotions. You're giving them love. You're giving them nurturing energy. You're kind of meeting them halfway with spirituality as well, that you are, you know, offering them a lot of yourself in order for them to, you know, make the other half, you know, because if you're having to give so much of yourself, it enables this and you're giving that freely and willingly and in a very loving way, it enables the other person to give back that other half as well. You know, some of you, I'm going to have a date with destiny. That is my date card. And then we have the destiny card. So some of you, there is a date with destiny. Some of you may actually be meeting up with somebody and they're asking you, look, can you help me be my surrogate? Can you be a surrogate for me? Can you, you know, and it's not just surrogacy as in you're carrying a baby. It's surrogacy as in, can you be a role model for me, for my child, for so-and-so? Can you step in and take care and nurture and love for some of you while they cannot? Some of you, it's something like, you know, they may be having to step out of a situation for a while. They may be having their own struggles. They do have a lot of burdens and responsibilities as well, and a lot of emotions here as well. We do have the moon coming through there as well. A lot of emotions attached to this situation. It's a very emotionally sensitive situation for a lot of you, you know, and that once again is, it's, you know, if the cross is the most spiritual card in the deck, the moon is the second most spiritual. It does talk about trusting your intuition with this situation. And like, I feel like just I just kind of already feel like Capricorn, you already know. You already know exactly what you're going to do before you've even been asked. You know that you're going to step up and take responsibility. Especially if you do have that seed of life within you already. You're ready to nurture something. And for some of you, this may even just be dog sitting. I am picking that up as well. That for some of you, it may be dog sitting, but this person, you know, that's part of their family. That's their baby. So it's a serious thing. It's not just looking after a pet. It's actually a serious thing. They're asking you, can you please look after my baby? It's like they're handing you a newborn and saying, can you look after this for a week? You know, so take it seriously is what I kind of want to say with that as well, Capricorn. Very interesting. I do actually just want to get a timing kind of reference on that. Just looking, I don't have any of my timing decks. Oh, yes, I do. I didn't think I had any nearby there. Can we get some timing for Capricorn on when this will take place? So I do feel as though there's a conversation that will take place. This meeting about this, working out how this is going to work. Can I see some timing for Capricorn, please? No, that's like half the deck. Thank you. So we're not taking those. That was half the deck. Is it possible to get some timing for Capricorn on these, please? I'm intuitively kind of feeling it might actually be relatively soon. Okay, so when I've got timing, the first two are not giving us specific times. So we have change course. You may need to take a different path to get there. But it's like you're having to change course because this is put on you, thrust on you kind of energy. It changes the course of your life right now because you're on this current path, but then this comes through and changes the course of your life because it's very unexpected. We have unexpected there as well, happening suddenly and sooner than you thought. Okay. I do have Libra season as well, but you know, that feels like at the latest, to be completely honest. September 23rd to October 22nd. Weigh all your options first. So do make sure you think about it very clearly and like make sure we are balancing out all the options and, you know, balancing out how this is going to really work and thinking it through. But you're a Capricorn, you're going to do that anyway. But I do feel as though Libra season is probably the at the latest kind of energy for a lot of you here. So this may actually be happening a lot sooner than you think, Capricorn. And I'm not going to lie, like I've actually gotten a very similar message in a personal reading for myself lately about a child unexpectedly coming into my care. So, you know, I'm to see that in the collective messages as well. Interesting, very interesting. So, yeah, it may not even be me. It may actually be someone else in the collective with strong Capricorn that's happening for. But I did see it in a reading for myself. I believe it was myself. It might have been a Capricorn reading, though. I do know it connected to me, though. So I was in some way, shape, or form. So whether that was just the Capricorn thing or whether that was just, it was a personal reading for myself that I'd done. But I find with the, you know, it's being a reader, I read so much better for you guys than I read for myself. You know, sometimes seeing the messages, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to my own personal readings. I actually, quite a lot of the time when I'm doing a reading for myself, I will actually ask somebody else to draw the cards for me. I will sit with somebody else and I will ask them, this is my question. Can you pull out X amount of cards? I'm a Capricorn, so I'll tell them what to do and I'll tell them how to do it. But I just need them to draw the cards. And then if I explain the reading to them as though I'm giving them the reading, and I'll tape it or whatever, I'll record it and then I'll listen back as though it's a reading for myself. So I need to think of myself in a third person a lot of the time when I'm doing readings. It's very interesting. I just random tidbit for you guys there, but that is super interesting, Capricorn. I'm very intrigued to see how that plays out for everyone. So, if you are aware of some potential situation that could be for you personally, please let me know in the comments. You don't even have to be, you don't have to delve into personal information if you're not comfortable doing so. Just leave me a comment and let me know Capricorn resonated. I would really appreciate that, Capricorn. Yeah, super interesting. But that's what we have for you. More than welcome to check your other placements and see what's going on there as well. All right, but moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know in regard to children? What does Aquarius need to know in regard to children? Kundalini Sea Queen. Command self-resilience. Control of oneself. Aquarius. And I don't know if you've heard of the Kundalini awakening experience. That is being referenced here. Kundalini, I don't know how to say that properly. Commanding self-resilience, controlling oneself, reminding oneself that I am strong, I am powerful, I can do this, I will do this. No matter how hard this is, no matter how many times I fall down, I'm going to keep getting back up and going again and again and again and again and again. I am picking up here, Aquarius, for some of you, this is a message about resilience as a parent, resilience with a specific child for someone here. I'm kind of getting teenager vibes coming through. So maybe like pre-teenager, could be anywhere in that range, I suppose, early adulthood. But it's kind of like you're being kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked from this child, Aquarius. This child is testing your everything. And it's just like, what do I do? How do I do this? Why do I keep doing this with this child? You need to command some self-resilience and understand that this is just children. This is part of the fun of being a parent, yeah? That you can do this. You have the strength. Do you know what? No matter how many times this child kicks me, no matter how many times this child makes the same mistake, I am going to persevere and I'm just going to keep being there for them. I'm just going to keep on loving them and trying to help them see, better decisions they could be making. I'm going to, even if they're not learning the lesson, we're going to help them and we're going to push them and we're going to, because I'm getting this example here, Aquarius, of having to teach a child something, through rote learning. Now, rote learning is where you hear something a million times and then you finally remember it and understand it, So like the earliest example for children is, the ABCs and how to count to 10. We spend so much time with children singing the ABC song and they hear it over and over and over and over and over and over. They hear it so many times. As they get older, they hear their times tables. And do you know what they have to do? They have to sit there and they all, as a classroom, they all sit there and they say, 1 times 1 is this. And, you know, they go through the whole, like, I'm horrible with maths. I'm not even attempting. I'll mess it up. You know, 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. That's an easy one for me for some reason. I can do 7 timetables. That's easy. I don't know why 7s is fine, but the rest, no. You know, so they'll sit there and they'll rote learn it. They'll sit there as a classroom and they'll say it over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like that's what you're having to do here as a parent at the moment. And that's what the child needs. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether, you know, if it's you with the preteen, the pre-adult that I'm picking up on here, or whether this is a young child and it's kind of like, why are they not speaking yet? Oh, it's rote learning. Say it, 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 and then say it some more. You know, it works. It's been proven to work. That's why they teach kids things that way. That's why we have, you know, the ABC song turned into a song, because it's like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it finally sinks in, and then they just know it. They don't know how they know it, even though they've said it a million times. They have no recollection of actually learning it, but they know it. And like even some of us as adults, we sit here and we go, oh, what's that? What's the letter again? Oh, EFGHIJKLM. Oh, yep, OP. Yep, cool. You know, so we a lot of the time we use the song to find our spot in the alphabet and find out how, you know, and things like that. There's certain things that we repeat to ourselves that we've learned as a child through rote learning, that have just, they stick. You know, like the phrase I before E except after C sticks. Except, is it after or before? I don't see. Having one of those days, Aquarius. But you know, self-resilience, it's going to drive you insane. It is going to drive you insane. I'm not lying. But you need to do it over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And I'm also hearing that for some of you, there's that Snoop Dogg song. It's Snoop Dogg, but it's called but it's like the band, his kids band is like Doggy Land. I think it's called Doggy Land. But it's the affirmation song. I'm getting that song, all right? If you're having a child that's having issues with depression and, you know, worthiness and insecurities and things like that, affirmation song on repeat. Make it a family thing. Every time we get in the car, we listen to the affirmation song and we sing along. My son, it drives him insane because I play it all the time. I added it the other night to his bedtime playlist, and he's like, Mum, did you add the Snoop Dogg song again? Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know in regards to children? Because I'm getting very, like, sort of being stern as well here. We do have the fox coming through first. I feel like that's your child. Okay, they're being sneaky. They're being, it's not that some of them, they are intentionally being a little bit sneaky, a little bit cheeky, a little bit, think they're being clever, getting away with something, but they're not. It's exerting their independence is the main message I'm getting there, that they're exerting their independence. And they're like, but I'm a grown-up. No, you're not. You're a child. Doesn't matter whether you're my... like, that's kind of what I'm getting here, Aquarius, that they're just trying to be independent. I don't need no one. I don't need any help. I can do it all. I'm, you know, trying to be very, very independent. Also be aware that this child, especially those of you where this is a teenager, they are being a little bit cheeky. They are being a little bit sneaky. They're trying to manipulate you a little bit here. They are using mum against dad and dad against mum for some of you here. But mum said, but dad said. We all know that trick, okay, guys? We know that trick. If mum says no, I'll go ask dad. If dad says no, I'll go ask mum. We know the tricks, right, guys? But that's what this child is currently doing. They're saying what they think you want to hear. They're not necessarily saying the full truth. They put on a good little story. It's a good story. They sell a good story. It's not necessarily the whole truth, nothing but the truth. They're being a little bit sneaky, a little bit cunning and clever. All right, but ultimately, we have the stars and then the moon. So this shows us how to deal with this, right? We have the star there, which is our wishes and being hopeful and optimistic, but it's coming through with the moon. So we've got two celestial cards there together. The moon does talk about trusting your intuition. If you think they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes, they are. If you think they're sneaking out that window at night, they are. Trust your intuition. But also emotional sensitivity. All right. So that's why you're having to command self-resilience, because you're having to be very resilient to not allow yourself to fall into an emotional gap with this situation. It's likely to stir a lot of frustration and a lot of, emotions in you. So you need to be very wary of that and be very resilient to remind yourself that this is not an emotional thing. This is just part of parenting. A lot of parents have to deal with this, and, focus on the end goals. Focus on the end goals. What do I want to teach this child? What's the outcome I want here? Do I want my child to stop feeling as though they have to sneak around, and that they can come to me and be honest with me and discuss it with me? Those sorts of things. What's the end goal here? What do I want to teach this child about being like this, about being a little bit selfish and independent in a kind of manipulative way here? What do I wish for from this situation? And then I can trust my intuition on how to get to that wish and how to get to that end goal. The other thing is I'm getting here too is that the reason, for a lot of you, the reason that the child is acting out, it's an acting out for a lot of you here, that they're acting like this because they wish for emotion. They wish for emotion. All right. So they are wishing for that emotional security coming from the parents. That's why you need that self-resilience rather than just, you snuck out again, fight, argue, don't do this, don't do that. We need to approach them with offering them emotion, offering them an outlet for their own emotion, offering them guidance. That's, if anything, the stars offer guidance. We look up to the stars for guidance. We a lot of the old way we used to use before compasses and things was we would look to the stars and follow that particular star and go in that star's direction, the North Star or whatever. And so it's kind of like a guidance system. So you are their guidance system here, Aquarius. They're looking up to you. They need you in their night sky, letting them know that it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to have these negative emotions. It's okay to have positive emotions. It's about how we deal with them and being able to talk it out rather than being sneaky about it, because the more that they're being sneaky about it, the more that is actually pushing those emotions to the side and not being dealt with, and it's going to create more issues for you as a parent, but also for them in the long run. All right, so that's what I'm getting for you. A bit of a hectic one for you, Aquarius. Good luck with that child. They're just they all go through those stages where they need to exert their independence in different kind of ways. We have all different age groups do it in different kinds of ways. When they first start walking and they all of a sudden they stop and they hit mum's hand away. Don't help me, mum. I want to walk all by myself. And then as they get a little bit older, I've just had my son not long ago. No, mum, I want to walk home from the bus stop all by myself. And I'm like, I don't know about this, but he doesn't realize I actually can see him the whole walk home. So even if I don't, I walk out to the spot where I can watch him, and I watch him and make sure he's safe. And then right before he sees me, I run back home and wait for him to show up. He always wonders how I know exactly when he's home. But they need to feel like they've got the independence, even if they don't, but age dependent there, age dependent, of course. But yeah, make sure you subscribe as well, Aquarius. But we will move on to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces, what's going on for our Pisces? What does Pisces need to know in regard to children? Pisces, messages for Pisces in regard to children. Ooh, lobster spirit. Grounded enlightenment. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting energy. Grounded enlightenment. Getting a few different messages here. Straight away. And I'm getting like different messages for different age groups as well. So for some of you, those of you with older children, teenagers and above, your child just needs you to be their grounding energy. You just need to keep them grounded, and that will enable them to, become enlightened to whatever it is that they need to become enlightened to in regard to their own their own life. You just need to be there for them, basically, grounding them. Mum's here when you need me. I'm here. Dad's here when you need me. Whatever. For those of you with younger children, I'm actually seeing the claws come out a little bit more for you. This child actually needs a little bit more snap, snap. And it's not snap, snap as in yelling or snapping at them or anger or, negative emotion or punishment. Not at all. It's snap, snap as in just you to be a bit stronger with your boundaries, Pisces. Not letting them make you snap. So snap, when you aren't ready to snap, you're in control of the snap kind of thing. But it's the younger children, it's like you're the one needing the grounding a little bit more, but it's kind of like you're needing to maybe, get down on their level a little bit more, but don't be afraid to bring the claws out, and that you need to actually guide them with a little bit more snap, snap, rather than just being so soft on them all the time, is the message I'm getting there. That, it's okay to bring your claws out, and because you're guiding them, right? Especially when they're young, sometimes you need to snap, snap to push them in the right direction so they're not physically hurting themselves. Very young children are crazy. They're crazy. They don't understand what, danger, risks. They don't know that yet. That's up to you to teach them that. So they need you to snap, snap a little bit to guide them back into the. It's like you're just, I'm just getting you, like, pinching them on the bum to push them in the right direction, and just hurting them a little bit more forcefully, is what I'm getting with that lobster spirit for the younger children. And for those of you who don't actually have children, I am actually getting grounding yourself at the moment to bring yourself enlightenment about that situation, whether you envision children or what children even mean to you. I feel like for some of you, you don't want children, and it's not about finding when you want to have children or who you want to have children with or anything like that. It's more about coming into some sort of personal enlightenment about you can still have children in your life in different kinds of ways, and you can be that role model to children in a different kind of a way. But I'm getting grounded. You need to ground yourself, but you're Pisces, so it's water. We do see a lobster as well, all right? So water. Don't drown yourself. I'm saying ground yourself, not drown yourself, Pisces. Sorry. You need to, like, I don't know what it is, but something about balancing yourself in water and doing something, you know. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the sea goddess of creativity. And she says, fresh, creative joy. So for some of you, this grounding yourself energy, it's like doing something children would do, being creative in a fresh, fun, joyful kind of a manner. I'm specifically getting sand castles coming through. So going to the beach and building sand castles. You know, if you're not near a beach, you know, well, elsewhere in the world, I know you may be able to build a snowman right now. Do you want to build a snowman? Something about water, something with water. Snow is water. Snow is still water, okay? Mud is water. Mud is probably actually a really good medium for you, Pisces, too, because, you know, you've got the ground. You've actually got dirt. You've got that grounding, actual grounding energy there. Sand, dirt, they're bringing that, you know, but mud more so than just dirt, all right? Water mixed with earth is what I'm getting here for you, that grounding yourself a little bit. Because I'm also, because I am seeing here, you know, when I was a child, we used to go yabbying and catch yabbies, which are very, very similar to lobsters. Yeah, even that picture, that looks like a yabby to me, not a lobster. Like, in my brain, lobsters are huge, big things, whereas yabbies are like this big, or, you know, this big. But like when we would go yabbying, a lot of the time when we pull up the traps, they would be covered in muck and mud. And, you know, a lot of the time, you know, yabbies would try to hide down in the mud. And I think lobsters do the same thing. They like try to hide down in the dirt, in the sand a little bit, to avoid, you know, if they see danger, they burrow down. You know, because I'm getting that kind of energy there as well. So I'm finding that, you know, for those of you who don't have children specifically, that may be something you need to do. Go and play with some mud. Go play with some sand. Build some sand castles. Build some mud cakes, mud pies. Did everyone else do that when they were children? Make mud pies? Is that just me? Brought up in the country. That was fun. Okay, we didn't have iPads and devices back then. We didn't have consoles and stuff. We made mud pies. My grandma was great. She used to bring me out sprinkles and everything for the mud pies. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know in regard to children? Oh, and I'm actually getting a very specific message here, Pisces, for you're on the channel. I know you're on the channel and I know you watch all the videos. M. Mullen, all right? I'm not going to say your proper name because privacy, but that's what comes up on the YouTube channel when you comment is M. Mullen. So we're going to call you M. Mullen, all right? Beading. For some reason, beading. Doing some beading. I don't know why. It's something to do with the beady little eyes. Beading. I don't know exactly what that is, though. Beading. Have you ever done any beading? I know you're very creative, but it's like maybe something actually water, like a picture about water, right? You know them diamond dots things? Because that's what I'm seeing, but beads. And because I know what you're like, and like sitting there and sewing each individual bead onto like a picture, onto a shirt or something with some sort of sea theme. And that's, you know, the beady little eyes and then the sea goddess of creativity. That's coming through specifically for you, okay? So I just wanted to add that in there. But Pisces in collective. Pisces collective. What does Pisces collective need to know in regard to children? Clarify that first and a half energy. Clarify the first and a half energy for Pisces, please. So Pisces, once again, I'm getting multiple messages for multiple age groups coming through here. We have the letter coming through first, communication, followed by the coffin. So I am getting a few different messages here. The coffin does talk about death and then rebirth. All right. So for those of you with older children, there may be a conversation about death occurring. Somebody in their life, they may be experiencing some severe endings, how to find closure, all those sorts of things, death and closure, and closure can be from a death or from just the loss of a person, like a breakup and those sorts of things. That child is needing to have a conversation about, how to find closure within oneself so that we can start over again, how we can, go from an ending, turn that into new energy, new beginnings. We do then have the garden here as well. So meeting them on their level a little bit here, Pisces, meeting that child on their level. And, maybe even I'm kind of picking up specifically for those of you with older children, taking them out on like a date. It's coming through as date, but it's not a romantic date. All right. I take friends on coffee dates all the time. Taking them out for a coffee date, taking them out for, just spending time with them one-on-one. They kind of just need that. And you need to have this conversation with them about, closure. What does closure mean? How do we find closure? How do we move forward from things when they've ended? So whether it's, because I just feel like the older child is in the midst of something ending in their life, whether it be a job, a relationship, or the actual death of somebody in their life, those sorts of things, needing to just sort of meet up with them and spend some time with them and talking this out, giving them someone to talk to. For those of you with younger children, we're needing to, clearly communicate our boundaries with this child and clearly communicating what behavior needs to end by, when we're ending certain behaviors. So if that child is doing something that you're not happy with, for example, they like to, every time you've got a bit of paper anywhere near them, they'll rip it to little shreds. And you're like, that's it, I can't handle this anymore. You need to stop ripping up the paper. Every time it's there, you need to stop ripping it up. It's kind of like every time you're enforcing a boundary about something ending with that behavior and ending that behavior, you need to be introducing a new beginning, a new opportunity for them to, put that energy towards instead. All right. So giving them some sort of activity where, maybe it's even an activity with a similar motion of what you would get for ripping. But it's like, even if it's something, even depending on the age, if it's a really, really young child, you may actually have a book set aside just for them to rip. I know that they don't really have them anymore, but phone books, like back in the day, phone books, you could do so much stuff with phone books. Rip pages out one by one by one. Maybe take the important paperwork out of their hands, give them, this is your rip book. Here's your rip book. Rip that. Rip your rip book. Give them, draw them a circle on the paper and try to tell them, rip out just the circle. Turn it into a game. Turn it into a competition. Turn it into, a challenge for them. Rip out the circle. Don't rip the whole page into little tiny squares. Rip out just the circle. If you rip anything else, you lose. If you rip that perfectly, I'll give you a treat. So you're needing, once again, to meet them on their level. So meeting them at an age-appropriate level. And, not just coming at them, snip, snip. You got to stop doing that. Meeting them on their level and replacing that with something new. When we end something, we need to have a death and a rebirth. We need to have both, not just one or the other. All right. So we do have that clarified by the flowers there. So giving a little bit more time, a little bit more love, a little bit more energy to these two children I'm seeing here. So I'm not saying you have two children. I'm saying, the older side of the children and then the younger side of the children. I'm seeing two different age groups coming through. So the older ones needing those conversations, needing to spend some time with you one-on-one. The younger ones needing, just a little bit more effort into, taking and giving and boundary setting with that younger child there. For those of you who don't have children, I will get you a message. There's nothing for you in those cards. Message for the Pisces that don't have children, or are wanting children, or are not wanting children, or do not connect with that initial message there with the older and then the younger children. Any Pisces that aren't included in that previous message. Okay, very interesting. Okay, for those Pisces that weren't included in that initial message. Okay, so firstly, Pisces that do not want children. If you're a female, if you're a male, have you considered having your tubes done, having your vasectomy? Maybe that needs to be a consideration. We have the masculine, we have the masculine, we have the mice there, and we have the snake. For some of you, this is a message needing to lose our manhood, lose our tubules. That was a weird way of wording that. I'm sorry. So regardless of your gender, have you considered removing the body part that would make that impossible? Because it may accidentally happen if you do not. Some of you, we are seeing stress. A lot of stress here with that mice energy. So hang on. That was Pisces who do not want children. Pisces who do want children, but not yet having them. Check the sperm count. Check the sperm count on the masculine side. I feel as though the reason that you're not falling pregnant may actually have to do with health issues for the male. Okay, we do have strong male energy there. Okay, the male as well as the snake. The snake is, a very masculine energy because, trouser snakes. But it is a very masculine. It is more connected with the masculine energy, especially in that literal sense as well. There may just be a low or a loss of fertility on the male side of things. For those of you who don't have children and you are so we went over those of you who don't have children and don't want children. We've gone over those of you who don't have children and do want children. Okay, everyone else who does not connect with any of those messages I've already covered. Health issues, okay? I'm sorry. You may have some health issues going on. I am picking up health issues from that. And it's like For some of you, it's because you've like lost libido, or you've lost energy, you've lost brain. It's not that you've lost brain, it's that you've lost the ability to think without impulsiveness. There's just a bit of your brain's deceiving you in some kind of way here, that you're not thinking clearly. I feel for some of you that you've lost emotion, and you're very up in your head, but then that's actually kind of deceiving you in some kind of way, because you're not compensating that with head and heart. You're just up here in the head space. So dealing with other people's children, you may be having a lot of a struggle, dealing with children at all at the moment, because there's just something going on there. So I would really check into health. Just go and get a checkup, is what I want to say for those of you who do not resonate for any of this other stuff. All right. So, but hopefully everyone sort of fit into one of those main categories there. But that's what we have for you today, Pisces. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.